Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right, do right, do right.
And welcome to a brand new episode of Anecdotally Arguments. I am your host, Jay Fry. And with me, as usual, is Sean. How's it going, Sean?
Hey, it's Monday. We're here. Anything going on, guys? Anything? Anything at all? No?
Yeah,
Nothing?
All the things.
anything of
Nothing?
note and or worth?
Nothing?
And as
Really?
often is the case, Garrick.
I'm here. Hey guys.
And special guest, personal invitation. How's it going, Josh?
That's going. I'm cutting leather right now.
Holster leather?
Yes.
Here we go.
No, he went up and got himself one of them dead cows in Kansas.
Cow. This is 100% raw human hide. What are you talking about? This is primo.
Whoa, easy there, Dahmer. Calm down, boy.
No, I paid extra for the Necronomicon holster, so calm down. I wanted to be her face, and the latch her left nostril. Do this for me. All right, so today's is, I mean, pick your topic. We got to do Black Lives Matter, because is that what we're fighting for here? Is it treason? Is that what's happening right now? It's getting hard to hide it. We have fiery circumstances and trains running into dump trucks because you can't find anything heavier on the road. Yeah,
Wait, what happened?
I'll explain in a minute. One of the topics we'll be covering about a Minnesota, Missouri train, passenger train, just hits a dump truck on the road. Literally nothing talked about in the entire article about if there was a driver or somebody nearby. So, parked dump truck on railroad tracks is what happened. There'll be Syria, some freaking coastal desert, dropped a poison tanker rig, just killed 10 people, no problem, craning out a tank full of poisonous gas and just dropping it on a ship. So, all that and more tonight on. I can't believe I'm still watching this crap.
Pretty much.
So, who wants to talk about Psycho?
About what?
Hey,
The Psycho.
haven't watched it yet.
Psycho. First thing we do is we cover the Matt movie review. So if anybody has anything they do or don't want to say about it, it can be instantly gone back to. So, if you're right or you're wrong or you're whatnot. For instance, I'm going to say that Anthony Perkins' character, Norman, had a split personality in which he and his mom were two separate people, which is why he never covered anything up. Which is why it was made clear that he didn't take the name off the register or the registration. He didn't lock doors. He didn't unlock doors. He had a split personality in which each individual did completely different things. So that is why he got caught so easily. As opposed to them saying he was a shitty serial killer. Like, no. He killed his mom and that fractured his freaking weak ass brain. So who has what to say?
I don't know. I didn't see the movie review. I had to do homework last night, so...
You've seen the movie, right?
Well, which one are we talking? Are we talking the Alfred Hitchcock one, or are we talking a
The
remake?
OG, yeah.
There's a
Hitchcock.
remake?
Yes, there is.
Yep.
It's,
Who?
Well, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but from what I remember of it, it was really good.
hang on.
Who-
Psycho remake. 1998, and it had Vince Vaughn, Anne Heche, Julianne Moore, Viggo Mortensen, and William H. Macy in it.
Oh, who's Norman Bates?
Hang on.
Vince Vaughn?
William H. Macy?
No,
Yeah,
Vince Vaughn.
It's up to anybody's guess at that point. I mean, Vince Vaughn or Macy was just fresh off of Boogie Nights. He was popular.
Yeah, William H. Macy played Arbogast, the PI.
Yeah, that's a very different casting. Like Vince Vaughn is like 6'5".
Yeah.
Norman Bates is like 5 foot. Well, I mean Anthony Perkins. Anyway. It's just it's a very different casting.
It's got Flea in it too.
Who the hell is Flea? Right, I mean Red Hot Chili Peppers Flea, but
Yeah.
who's Flea?
Bob. He plays a character called Bob Summerfeld. Probably just a guy with 1 or 2 or 3 lines, because that's all he ever seems to play is just somebody with 2 or 3 lines in a movie.
Yeah, my favorite.
Just enough to keep his card.
Yeah, my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers is Point Break. And they just get rocked. Oh, Anthony Perkins was 6'2".
Yeah, he's tall.
I was not aware of that.
Weren't you 6'2" at one point, J. Fry?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago when I was not 6'1" or 6 foot. I used to be 6'5".
Gravity's a bitch.
I'm slowly degenerating into my brother's 5'5" frame. Look like that clown from Spawn melting. It just hurts my soul. All right, so we. Anybody have anything for Psycho before we get to move on?
Not really. I mean, it's one of those movies that was groundbreaking at the time. It's become tame over the years. Is tame by even 80s standards, let alone 2000 standards.
First movie to have a flushing toilet in it.
That's amazing.
That's the frame, the time frame of which this thing is happening. But I think Alfred Hitchcock's best movie is The Birds. Probably for his use of bird noises as the entire soundtrack. Whew.
See that?
Can't think of a better one.
I liked Rear Window.
Fair enough.
And Psycho is a classic, so I mean it's always up there. It's just tame by today's standards, but it was revolutionary and groundbreaking at the time.
I mean, Citizen Kane's a classic too, but I don't really think. I mean, they're on the same level, but it's you just calling something a classic doesn't really make it a classic. 25 years makes things classics. You know, it's a classic.
Big Trouble in
Little
China.
China. That beats you to it.
Best movie ever.
It is. It is.
Okay, so 3 dead and dozens injured after an Amtrak train collides with a dump truck. There's this happened in Mendon. I don't know where that is in Missouri, and it was an 8-passenger car and 2 locomotives were derailed, and it happened a little after noon, before 1 o'clock today. Missouri Highway Patrol Corporal Justin Dunn said 2 of the train passengers were killed, along with someone who was in the dump truck. Okay, so this has been updated. So not the act of terrorism we thought it was, even though it's an act of terrorism. This was somebody murdered and put in a dump truck. How do you not get out of the dump truck?
Good question.
Like, I try like hell to start the dump truck. Like, no question about that. But at about, that's going to hit in 10 seconds, I'm out of there. Running parallel against the train. Not away from the truck, but against the train. Because I want distance. Yeah, 13 victims were sent to various hospitals, and sleeper cars were overturned. The entire train just fell on its side. Just fuck. It's a situation.
That'd be terrifying to be involved in.
Absolutely, like
because you
get too
have
close to it.
zero control
Mm-hmm.
and zero warning.
You hear the horn, and I imagine the horn gets more and more desperate. So
Yeah, the problem with the horn is that most states have laws where you have to blow the horn as you go through any intersection. So that horn is going off constantly. I'm sure it just becomes background noise at a certain point if you're a passenger.
It's a loud fucking horn, man. But I've never trained anywhere.
But it's facing forward and you're in the back.
Yeah, but is a train is you passing the road. Let's get the fuck out of the way. This is your last warning.
Nice to know that Jay Fry can imitate a train horn so accurately.
I've never been on a train.
I haven't either.
I have never been on Amtrak.
Well, I take that back. I've been on zoo trains and stuff, I guess, if you want to count that.
Oh, well, fuck. I take it back. I've been the fucking conductor of a zoo train.
And then there's also the train that is in Silver Dollar City, so it's like a legit steam locomotive too.
Yeah, that was like the third train I rode.
Well, then I've been on a train car. I mean, like a fucking train. Like we're getting nitpicky here. Like I've been in a diner that was shaped like a train car. That doesn't count.
No. This was a legit running locomotive throughout the park.
Yeah, Silver Dollar City. It's kind of like Disneyland has their train in Disneyland and Disney World. Silver Dollar City has the same thing, except it's a steam engine.
And it's a real train. I mean,
yeah. No, I'm talking like you're sitting next to the person, and like two people fit on it, and you're going through a zoo. That's.
Are we talking about that terrible cholera outbreak?
I'm just saying, it's not a train.
It is. It's just smaller. Like a zoo train is smaller, but the train at Disneyland, the train at Silver Dollar City are like legitimately full gauge railroads that just go in a loop.
Yeah.
I
mean, there is the monorail that's in Disney World too, so
which is a train as well.
Shit,
but it also
train.
has a steam locomotive like Silver Dollar City does.
All right, I've been on the monorail.
I think that's in Magic Kingdom though, isn't it?
No, that's Disneyland. It has both. It has both a monorail and an actual train.
Well, in Disney World it does too.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, the monorail goes back and forth to the Disney Hotel, but the train, the normal 2-rail full width gauge train is just around the perimeter of the parks.
Yeah, the monorail, it goes to every single park. So, I mean, and Disney World is how many acres does it cover?
I have no idea. I've never been to Disney World. I've only been to Disneyland.
It's huge.
I know it's a lot bigger than Disneyland, and Disneyland ain't exactly small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much bigger. But, I went back in the days when Disney didn't inject politics into things. So there's that.
I got you beat by one. I went back in the days when they didn't try to fuck kids.
Ooh.
You're not old enough for that.
I don't know. Was that pre? What year was that pre? Because I went back in 95.
Kurt Russell is older than both of us.
Oh, shit. Kurt Russell might be older than my dad. I guess he stopped aging 20 years ago.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
Goldie
tell me
Hawn
they
did.
didn't mess around with a net.
I don't want to think about dude's fucking Kurt Russell.
Yeah. So what do we want to talk about?
You
I
got
don't
a
want to talk.
topic?
I don't want to talk about Roe v. Wade because that topic's been done to death for the past like 4 days.
Not really. I mean, besides from like people on our side, no one understands what's happening.
And technically, it
I
hasn't
fucking
been
understand.
done to death yet.
Oh,
Oh,
like I've seen like people raging about it. One girl from California, another girl from Upper New York, and a chick from Colorado and DC. And I'm like, you still have it. You passed the law. It's been legal in California for a decade. It's been legal in New York since the 70s.
they don't
They
understand
passed
that,
their
right?
own laws. I mean,
They
Colorado's
don't.
the newest, huh?
Yeah, they don't understand it. That's why.
Yeah.
That's
All
My
they
that's
did.
because.
emotions.
Well, no, it's largely a fault of public education because these kids didn't get just deserved through civics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't
They
know
don't understand
anything
shit.
about civics. They don't understand shit about shit. And apparently, that goes all the way up into our fucking Congress, who you would think would take a civics lesson.
Well, Anna Kasparian was blaming the Christians.
Well, I mean, you can all beat that dead horse to death. I don't
It's
care.
safer to blame a Christian than blame a Muslim.
Yeah.
Like Muslims and Jews probably have the same outlook. And it was proven because they each had their own going to the Supreme Court. Neo posted them to his someone who had posted it, he reposted their post. But
I still find it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Sorry, I've got a guy in a side-by-side right next to me on the road because apparently they're road legal. So. Oh, look, they're taking selfies.
Well, blame a Christian.
What a bunch of tools. I'm sorry if you can hear their shitty music.
Mm-hmm.
There should not be radios on motorcycles. It's just fucking retarded.
It's not a motorcycle. It's one of the side-by-sides, one of those off-road Can-Am side-by-sides.
So, like a glorified ATV?
Yes. Basically a glorified ATV.
The same principle applies to motorcycles and side-by-sides.
Yes.
Well, it just means street legal wheels and taillights.
Taillights, reverse lights, headlights, and turn signals. That's all it takes to be street legal. That and license plate light.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
So this girl on TikTok said she's like, I was just thinking about this the other day, and she played the Dream Phone commercial from my youth. I don't know, maybe Sean's youth. She's like, I wonder where they are today, and I'm like, well, it's June, parades.
I don't remember this commercial. What's it about?
The Dream Phone with those hunky guys you would call on your fake fucking phone, and you get like pictures
Oh
of them.
yeah, I remember that. That was back in like the 90s and 80s.
Yeah. And they're like,
Well, actually, no, they had one before that, didn't they? They had one back in like the 60s and 70s too. It's one that goes back all the way to like Dream Date or something like that is what it was.
yeah. Well, like,
They had like it was a board game for girls.
Yeah.
And would like call a specific number and it was like a card, and then it would tell them if they liked them or not.
yeah, with a picture on it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, chances are pride. And then like two videos later was another one of hers with the Crystal 8 dance team. And I'm like, oh no, they're dead. They are dead of AIDS. Every one of them. Like, yeah. Like,
That's all the cast of Rent too.
Yeah. Those were 80 gays. They're dead. Like when we get into the 90s gays, they might be alive still.
Yeah. So
Think of Fauci.
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
Yeah, I'm not gay nor a chick, so I'm not having any memories of these, but I'm sure it was a thing.
You watched commercials, didn't you?
Yeah, I just, as it does not suit any of my interests, I probably just promptly ignored these particular commercials and have no
Oh.
recollection of them.
God, it was on every episode of Jump. No, I was just
Don't you
speaking of
smack talk Gem. She's truly, truly outrageous.
that's her name. Jim. So in a Jodie Sweetin
Jodie Sweeting?
got her ass kicked at a LA rally, pro-choice rally. She got some sweet nightstick music to her personage.
That's not good. She's got a nice frame.
Yeah, well, she's got shitty politics. Because you know what?
Hollywood, gee, I'm shocked.
Hollywood, gee, I'm shocked. Your fucking rights were not affected at all in LA.
Yeah. Well, they don't understand that. And I will admit, Crowder made a pretty good point. It's like all the places that the riots and like the big protests are happening, it's all places where it's legal.
It happened here, sir.
Oh yeah, that's true. It did happen in Phoenix.
We're all from states where there's a trigger law that bans bans abortion. Except for Florida. Florida's got 20 weeks, but it's all very specific about. It's very specific.
It is most noble. Yeah, we had trigger laws, so I mean it instantly went into effect in Oklahoma. So.
And we got 30 days.
We're trying to figure out whether or not our pre-existing pre-Roe law is still applicable or not. That's what our kerfluffle is about.
Yeah. It goes back to the states. Your last law on the records for it is the law that goes into effect. So my mayor got in some trouble.
What? Your former wrestler got in trouble?
WWE Hall of Famer Kane, a.k.a. Glenn Jacobs, slammed for cheering Roe v. Wade ruling.
Oh.
Did he get slammed, though? Kane didn't often get slammed, if I recall correctly.
He's too big.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck getting your fucking hands around a 6'10" motherfucker.
I gotta ask something, Jay Fry. Did knowing the position you worked and everything, and when you did get to speak with Mr. Kane, did you fangirl out a little bit?
No, because he scared the shit out of me. He likes to find like the tallest people in the room and put his hand on their shoulder until they turn around and have to look up at him. That's like his power move to make sure you know he shits bigger than you.
Yeah.
Well, that's better than Lyndon Johnson. I'll just leave it at that.
Here's my dick.
Or taking a meeting while he's taking a shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Or driving his car into the lake.
Well, to be fair.
Or that famous line that I dare not quote.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we can quote it. It's not like Sean's gonna lose funding.
Yeah, that's true.
But what?
That's true.
You gonna say something about his Aquamobile?
Yeah. Well, that's all I was going to say is that it was a boat car. It's designed to do that. And it would,
The amphibicar. It was an amphibicar.
you know,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, think James Bond, not Ted Kennedy. Sorry, I was.
Yes,
clear.
exactly. I mean, same party but different equipment.
I've got to disappear for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Oh, I was going to say, Josh, you could say it because if Twitter taught me anything over the last 48 hours, is that
Oh yeah, if you're
you
in the
can
right party,
use
you
that
can drop
word
the-
now.
I got a pass from a trans mission the other day. That's so sweet. Say the N-word. Super Zom BBQ, a UK wrestling fan, tweeted out, "Please never have Kane return to the TV again. It's a shame he chose to be a monster inside and outside the ring." I'm willing to bet Super Zom BBQ has 17 followers.
And you said they were European?
Yeah, they're
From
a
where?
UK wrestling fan and
UK.
digital
Do you know
content creator.
does that person happen to know what the UK laws on abortion are?
It's 12 weeks, isn't it?
Depends. It kind of varies, but I don't think any of them are longer than 20.
Well, yeah. Well, Norway is 20, France is 14, and then everything else is like 12. Kane was introduced into the WWE Hall of Fame last year as 7 feet tall, weighing in at 300 pounds. Kane is a monstrous abomination that seems to have been extracted directly from your childhood nightmares.
I don't know. Andre was bigger.
Yeah, he was. Andre was so big, he would pass out, and they just had to leave him there because he was 540 pounds. He was in the Waldorf, and he drank 52 beers and just fuck-alled right in the middle of the floor. Good night. They just set up cones around him. Seriously, I'm tired of saying I love Kane, but fuck Glenn Jacobs. Nah, fuck Kane and fuck Glenn. He made a career off of somebody else's career, whether it be Kevin Nash or Taker or trash wrestler, trash human. Huh. Almost like they hired him to fill a role. And he filled it well for over a decade. So his tweet that everyone is upset about, Roe versus Wade has been overturned. This clears the way for states like Tennessee to pass stronger protections for the unborn and as an answer to a prayer for so many.
Well, it's
hashtag right to life, hashtag victory.
This kind of goes back to the groomer thing, how they get so upset when you call them groomers. At this point, just call them baby killers.
Yeah.
It's going to upset them. You're a fucking baby killer.
And don't use their words. Like, oh, you're pro-life, but when it comes to the death penalty, no, I'm not pro-life. I'm anti-abortion. But I'm also not particularly a fan of the death penalty because I don't really trust the state.
Right.
You know, like self-defense, sure, but yeah, I don't trust the state. So no, I'm not, and you're not pro-choice because at no point in any of your politics are you cool with choice. Not for the jab, not for school vouchers, not for any other aspect of your life. You're for forcing it down the throats of your opposition.
Well,
everything.
At this point, and it's been a while that we've passed this point, but trying to get them to be ashamed of their hypocrisy will never, ever work. They don't see it as hypocrisy. They do not care. There is no winning path down that road. The only winning path is to hold them accountable and shame the living fuck out of them, a.k.a. the groomer slur, the baby killer slur, anything you want to apply to them. Call them on their lack of morality. Call them out for the heinous acts that they support. And don't let them shame you. You should be shaming them.
There's no shame in my game. That's the I look myself in the mirror and I question my beliefs on a relatively often basis because I am fighting for my beliefs against dumbasses. You're the ones who shut down any sort of questioning and can't answer the most basic of questions. Please tell me, when does a baby become a baby?
You don't even have to get there. That's actually a hard one to define. Let's do an easy one. Tell me, what is a woman?
Yep.
A woman is a woman. Clearly. That is the answer to that question. Someone who defines themselves. I just watched something the other day. It was a New York City. I didn't watch a race or anything, but a male adult won a skateboarding race for female children because of how he identified. And I'm like, the fuck you did? Like, what the fuck? But
I say we dust off from orbit and nuke the site because it's the only way to be sure.
Don't worry, the impending nuclear holocaust is coming, Sean.
You got to use only half the line and let somebody else fill in the rest. That's how you get your kicks, by filling in the rest of my line.
Affirmative.
Like Abe Simpson the other day. I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good toss back.
Because the way things are shaping up, I mean, the way that they're talking of, World War III soon, so, yeah.
Yeah, that just kills me. I'm like, oh, like Sarah Silverman honestly believes that if it comes down to it, the military is going to be on her side.
That is a possibility.
Considering
like,
considering the DOJ's and Department of Defense statements, yeah, she's not wrong.
But she's only getting the brass.
They're
She's
the
not
ones
getting pilots.
who issue the orders. The brass issues the orders, man. I'm telling you. And if Kent states any degree of an example, those fucking jarheads and grunts will follow the fucking orders.
They were protecting themselves.
Yeah, how do you think they'll justify it any other way?
They won't go.
Yes, they will, because they'll be ordered to.
You cannot set foot on American ground with a rifle without violating habeas corpus.
Okay,
Who says
and
they won't
gee,
suspend
that's
it?
never ever happened in our country's history before.
It's been ruled on since then.
Oh, it's been ruled on.
Idiots.
Okay, it's been ruled on. Great. Guess what? It still gets violated.
We just get those idiots from the National Guard.
It
Who
still
they make
gets
sleep in freaking what are they
Parking
called?
garages?
Parking garages.
You go through basics so that you get your free will beat the fuck out of you, and you follow fucking orders. There will be enough to follow the orders. There may be some dissenters that refuse. They will be incarcerated, their careers jeopardized, and they're only going to have their morals to cling to. And they will have made the right decision, but the vast majority of them are going to follow those fucking orders.
Yeah, they've
Make
made
no
great strides.
mistake.
Between Obama and his issue of OSHA compliances, the jab mandates, the new recruiting guidelines, they're trying to chip away. But that's the whole reason. Instead of bringing in the military, they militarized the police. The military would not have gone after civilians. The military love the civilians. In fact, most vets would be on our side.
I'm going to... Yeah, veterans, not necessarily active duty.
Yeah, not active duty. It'll be the vets. You're right. But the problem is that it's the active duty that have access to all the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
But considering the fact of one thing, too, is how weak, as far as not necessarily training, but some of the stuff that they're having to deal with, I mean, they're definitely having to deal with a little bit weaker of a constitution than what they would have had previously.
Yeah, but they're still
So
more
there is
thick
that.
than the HUD, than FUDs.
Yeah.
But Obama made his strides, and the DOJ itself, with the aid of the Pentagon, have made their strides into the military. But when you join for patriotic purposes, you're not going to go against the citizenry.
Yeah, you will. Because they will be told that those are insurgents, those are un-American, those are traitors, those are X, Y, and Z. They absolutely will, Jay. You've got to get this out of your head. It's the same reason the cops won't ever support our side either, is because, A, they've been militarized and they're their own team. Now, they may not be necessarily opposed to us, but they will follow fucking orders and they will do their jobs. Because they will have gotten rid of any of the people that would dissent and not follow those orders long before they actually issue those orders.
I don't think it'll be the American military. I think it'll be a foreign military because of the UN. It won't be American troops that are stationed here.
Oh, good. So we can kill them willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm. Oh. like it'll be an exchange program. Like we'll be our guys will be sent to Germany, and the Germans will be sent here, and it'll be like, my grandpa did fine against you motherfuckers.
Entschuldigen, bullet for you.
No, it'll probably be some Squatamalans or something. Be like, oh, this is our jam right here.
I was gonna say, what nation's military would actually do that?
It's any southern military south of us, and we'd steamroll them.
You think the federales would come into America and stand a chance?
No, but that's what they would do. I'm telling you, not only is the American military more patriotic to our side than the government would like, they fear the American soldier. It would be a foreign military with whatever cost they could get away with. The UN would put soldiers in, and we would fucking rock them.
Okay, so you're thinking something along UN?
Absolutely UN related.
But I'm gonna kind of side with Sean a little bit.
Oh, they've made their strides. They've made very many attempts, so it's not impossible.
I would say it's more highly probable than anything else at this point. It's okay.
We shall see. You know, I'd like to get one of those snazzy little pickup lines for my my AR that makes it go burr.
A Yankee Boogle?
Thinking of a third hole rider, but whatever it takes.
Yeah, that works. That works too.
Finally, I can sit down this Mosin of God and pick up a real rifle.
I mean, to be fair, I still kind of want to. I still want to just do an experiment and vibe check level 4 plates with some 4570 with a ballistics dummy, just to see energy transfer. I really do want to do it, but I'm not forking over $2,500 for a damn ballistics dummy.
Yeah. Ow! Get that guy! Ow!
How much is a hog?
A hog
How
carcass, I could probably buy one for about, I don't know, $400 or $500.
Yeah, buy a hog.
How
Strap
much
it to
for
the
a
hog,
hog?
hang it up, and do that.
Well,
No.
the problem is hogs have more fat
What's the
and thicker skin.
was it Man's Best Friend or no? It was Beethoven. Get yourself a Saint Bernard. Yeah, Man's Best Friend. That was Lance Hendrickson. It was Beethoven, where they were. Guy just wanted to shoot a Saint Bernard with a gun, and that was like the whole premise of the movie.
No, I mean, I've already. I mean, I know what a 4570 will do to a human being, to an extent. I've seen what it does to ballistics gel and everything else, and I can only imagine what it would do with just bones and everything else. But
I want to get a hold of a military AR and blow somebody's lung out.
Oh, you
No,
can do
that
that with a
doesn't
9mm, Jay. Didn't you hear?
I know. I just wanted to go with the military AR. Those military ARs.
one that goes Bert.
Yeah,
Still want
those ones
41A,
meant
that's all
those
I want
ARs
left.
meant for war.
I mean, yeah, technically it is a weapon of war. I mean, any weapon can be a weapon of war. Is it an effective weapon? Maybe.
The entire purpose of a 5.56 round is to wound and take 2 extra people off the battlefield. It
2 to 3
infuriates
extra people.
me when they call it a murder weapon.
It can kill.
No sniper rifle is chambered in 5.56.
Oh, hell no.
No, because a sniper is meant to kill.
Well, I mean, you're also talking a completely different set of tools and necessary things. So, just saying.
Yeah. Like, can you hunt anything with an AR over 55 pounds?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we can hunt deer. Technically, with a 223, it's you have to use something over 55 grains, but you can do it, and it can't be. It has to be a soft point.
I think coyote is the top limit for.
At least here in Oklahoma.
You out here you can shoot piggies with them, and they definitely over 55 pounds, but it's
I wouldn't
less
hunt
than
hog
less
less than
than.
a 308.
Well, we're
optimal.
talking 55 grain weight. Yes, it's a suboptimal cartridge for sure. I mean, it's just if you really want to get down to it, I mean, Uncle Joe, the weapon he suggested is buy a shotgun and fire 2 blasts. I mean, that's something at the right range will definitely blow your lungs out. So
he suggests buying a double barrel shotgun and firing 2 rounds in the air.
It's still going to do the same thing.
I was perpendicular on the wrong side of the muzzle of my buddy's when he fired off a 308, and that tonked the wind out of me. So I'm imagining that almost anything will blow your lung out if placed appropriately.
Sure.
Oh, apparently Carrie Lake did a interview with Brett Baer. I missed it.
She's trying her damnedest.
Did you see the other day when she burned that reporter for? She's like, I'll do an interview with you on CNN Plus.
Oh, and she's got the local McCainite GOP all in a tizzy. They've got 2 broads that they're running against her for the primary, just to see if they can primary her out. And they are pushing hard. I have not gotten into my truck and driven more, less than 2 or 3 miles before I'm hearing a commercial for Robeson or the other one whose name eludes me at the time.
No one didn't think you were Black Magic. Biggest question, how alive? Jorge Ventura is headed to Monterrey, Mexico, to follow the immigrant caravan overnight on their journey to cross illegally into Texas. Stay tuned from the Daily Caller. Yeah, it just so happens his backpack's going to be full of jewels. Someone check him. Holy shit, from the LA Times column. Is California ready for more black people to be legally carrying guns in public? Like there was a whole time when like black people were armed in the 70s.
Yeah, something Panthers.
Something Panthers, something Malcolm X.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta hop off here. I'll be back on in a little while.
All right.
I'm gonna eat.
See you then.
Since I know that annoys Sean when I'm eating on the air. So
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I do so much for you.
You
don't even know it.
Yeah.
I wonder why it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I know, but you're swampy, so it's okay.
Oh, thanks,
right.
Crowder says Carrie Lake is fine.
I'll be back on a little while, guys.
She's rather
All right, do that. Yeah. She kind of makes my teeth itch sometimes when she journalists to the camera. Like, oh god, my teeth are fuzzy.
Well, the one advantage of that is that she knows how the game is played on that side, so she's got direct experience with it. So that'll be good.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does. And she's got presence. There's no denying that. Designed by Apple in California is pathetic. Okay, serious question. What keeps the average American that can afford it from moving to Europe? Europe. That's what keeps it from happening.
Actually, it's their strict immigration laws.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to come over by boat if you want to get into the country. Dinesh D'Souza's wife is posting about the old white men who voted for women's bodies, and it's all pictures of Amy Coney Barrett and Clarence Thomas. I don't particularly care for Clarence Thomas, but I love his wife. She might be a crazy person. I mean, like, hell yeah. You're the best, Ginny, or whatever the fuck your name is. Paul Krugman making the most of the coming Biden boom. Paul, have you ever been right? Paul, the internet is going to be as effective towards business as fax machines, Krugman?
Krugman has never been right about anything ever.
Yeah.
Literally.
Same with what's his nuts, who's like, buy the dip. It's gonna be good. Like, no, wait for the dip to dip out. Let it start rising again, and then you buy into it, Mr. I'm protecting the federal government and not your wallet. Robert Reich's another one I just can't stand for any reason.
Between Robert Reich and Krugman, those two fuckers, either one of them have never been right about a fucking thing in my lifetime.
This is from yesterday. Let's get one. Well, this is from July of 2021. Let's get one thing straight. Freedom doesn't mean you have the right to recklessly endanger others by refusing to get vaccinated. Yesterday. I don't know who needs to hear this, but every person should have control over their own body.
Oopsie. Again, their hypocrisy, they do not care about it. They do not recognize it. They do not see it as a fault. It will not work to point it out to them. They have no shame about it. They have no conscience about it. They're just fucking evil.
Black Magic says, Paul, I will suck at my one job, Krugman.
Yep.
I got one job. I'm going to suck at it. God, I remember punk rock. And I remember if punk rock said punk rock stood for one thing, punk rock would say, fuck that one thing. Oh, if punk rock stood for one thing, it stood for this. Oh, that? Fuck that.
Is this about Green Day? Because that was never punk rock.
It's about pretending to be punk rock.
Right. I was going to say that
there
has never been a bigger poser band in the punk world, if that's what you want to call it, than motherfucking Green Day.
No effects.
They're not posers at all.
No Effects lost corporate backers because of the shit they talked at in Vegas after the Vegas shooting.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. They are not punk posers. They are punk.
Until they got corporate backers and then bowed down to them afterwards because they lost their sponsorships.
What's the point of bowing down when they pulled it? That's when you double down. Be more punk.
Exactly. And they didn't. They bowed. That's the poser part.
Fucking two Hebes in a bean.
Like, what happened to kill all the white men?
Kill all the
now
white
it's
people?
agree with all the white men? Like, and you guys are white, most of you.
No effects is one white trash dude, two Hebes in a bean.
I thought it was two and one.
No, it's literally the name of one of their albums is Poor White Trash, Two Hebes and a Bean.
Maybe I'm thinking of Pansy Division. No, I'm thinking of No Doubt, where it was just the one Hebe. It was technically Indian. No, I'm thinking of Juan Valdez Love Machine. And that guy's technically Sikh.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently Rage Against the Machine is raising a bunch of money for Planned Parenthood. Like donating a lot of their concert ticket sales to Planned Parenthood. Like,
Are they still a thing? That's adorable. I want to know at what point does abortions only cover 3% of our whatever? It makes it that they have to shut down. Like what? What loss of 3% leads to that? Have you been lying this entire time and most of your donations go to funding Democrat candidates? Because that's what it sounds like. Oh,
sounds like a restaurant I'd prefer over Five Guys. What? Poor White Trash, Two Hebes and a Bean?
Yeah. At least we know there'd be seasoning. Seasoning. Fucking Mayo Americans. You don't season nothing. Ooh, Jorge's gonna have to start watching out. 40 immigrants found dead in San Antonio in the back of a truck.
Probably because it's hot.
Fuck yeah. At least 40 people were found dead inside a tractor trailer Monday in San Antonio, Texas, according to law enforcement officials briefed in the matter. 42 people dead. God, these are just repetitive. Thank you. No. Outskirts of a southern city, remote area. San Antonio police did not immediately respond to her. Okay, so here's my thing. I no longer give a shit what race of people are coming across the border. I want it to stop. Has nothing to do with racism. Has nothing to do with sexism. Has nothing to do with my border integrity. I hate traffickers. This is the number one source of trafficking is coming in without documentation. Why can't we come together and say, protect kids, protect minorities, protect women, shut this shit down? The 5 largest events of human trafficking in a year are the Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup, FIFA soccer, World Series, and whatever the fucking other one is.
Basketball, probably.
Basketball, yeah. They escort in children to be fucked at the pleasure of the people attending these events. End that before I end you. That's what I'm going for here. I have started Fed posting. Watch out, people. I mean, I am so sick of these. Like, I can see on TikTok these guys defending Roe versus Wade, and every one of them looks like they're just dying to rape a bitch. Like, you're not strong-willed. You look like you beg women for sex while they're drunk. You're a disgusting soul. Get the fuck out of my sight. And these whores are eating it up. It's just level of depravity and disgustingness. I don't want a 9-month a baby, full term, ready to be born, killed. So I vote against it. And they tell me before I vote, it's never going to happen. It doesn't happen this way. My vote gets passed, and now women are going to die because of this. We don't want sex ed being taught to kids under 3rd grade, and it's going to kill queers now. Even though it never happened before, even though we have examples of it. What is the hypocrisy here, and how do we stop it?
I don't know how we stop it, but the hypocrisy does not matter. Never has. It won't. They're just using hyperbole, and they literally accuse their opposition of doing exactly what they do.
Sinatra, did you catch Sinatra's today?
No.
He read an article that said Uvalde police did not shoot any children.
Good
And
to
his
know, I guess.
That makes me believe Uvalde police shot children. Did you think
how
for
wrong everything else has been? Yeah, it might.
Did you think for a second Uvalde police shot children?
No.
Did you need an article telling you Uvalde police didn't shoot children? Can you think of a single reason there would be an article saying Uvalde police didn't shoot children unless Uvalde police shot children?
Well, considering how wrong all that information has been for so long, it does not shock me that people are extrapolating ill will and ill intent. Like I said a couple of times before, the frequency, the timing, and the non-action of authorities when it comes to these school shootings leads me to believe that they want these things to continue to happen.
And now they're trying to cover it up. They hired outside lawyers to fight to keep it from being exposed, even though Texas law says you have to make this stuff known. So I'm thinking that thing I saw from the Hodge twins saying that the police chief donates to Beto O'Rourke is accurate.
Probably is.
Yeah.
How this person is still employed is beyond me.
He's not. He moved over. He's no longer chief of police. He's on the city council.
Again, how this person is still employed bothers me. How is the township, town, city, whatever it happens to be, not chase this motherfucker for fear of his life out of town?
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's right, but I would understand if they did. And I'm questioning why they have not.
Not saying it's right, but I'm donating to the cause. Here's 6 2x4s with tar pitch wrapped in cotton for the not the pitchforks, just the torch gang.
Yeah, that motherfucker should be in fear of his life and nowhere near that area of Texas, let alone the country. He should probably leave Texas.
Mm-hmm. He should have to reside on the East Coast in the north.
Yes.
Like,
head for Vermont.
Not even a good state. I'm talking Massachusetts. Like, his neighbors have to be Bill Burr and Christopher Titus. That's how awful it needs to be.
Yuck. Except don't both of those fucks live in L.A. now?
Oh, probably. Like, find their families. The other Titus and the other Burr brother.
You see what Dankula's been doing?
Did you see the girl who mistook Dankula for a Supreme Court justice?
Yep. There's more than one.
Okay.
Apparently, he's got a ton of DMs of people adding him just furious, thinking that he's actually a member of the Supreme Court.
Adding
until
him
they
or adding
Google
him?
Until
Count Dankula TV isn't a Supreme Court justice? I would have thought.
Well, no, he changed his Twitter handle to Justice Dankula.
No, his name, not his handle. It's still at Count Dankula TV. But the name is Justice Dankula.
Yeah. Nobody looks at the handle.
I do.
Well, I do
Well-
too, but because I've been caught by fucking parody accounts a couple of times.
Yeah, that's why. But he does have a verified status, so
Right.
I could see not ignoring me. It's still Contingula TV. Come on. Oh,
Come on, man.
come on, man. Come on, man. Malarkey. What's happening with Contingula?
Huh? Oh, just that he's just posting these memes as Justice Dankula, and people, commies are, unthinking commies are frothing at the mouth and losing their fucking minds about it. And when they confront him about it, I can't believe that, somebody was like, I can't believe this, that, and the other thing. How can, you do this and blah, 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 blah. And what state do you live in? Like, all Supreme Court justices don't live in fucking Virginia, number one. Number two, I can't believe that, this, that, and the other thing. Basically making a threat on his life, and then he responds with something like, yeah, you should Google me. And so the next response is, oh.
Oh. What the hell's a Nazi pug?
Oh, it's great.
He taught a pug to hail Hitler? How do you even... I had a pug. How do you make a pug a Nazi? No, it was something about an itty bitty titty committee. He was outlawing it or something. Hold on,
Yeah,
gotta
I
find it.
hereby declare the Itty Bitty Titty Committee a terrorist organization.
A terrorist organization. She's like, the fact that this man is on the Supreme Court of the United States and tweeting things like this, unprofessional, comical. This man is the reason women will die.
Just clutch. I've always thought his humor was very sophomoric and kind of milquetoast at the same time. But this is gold. This is fucking gold.
Trump Jr. posted that one about the tiny dominoes going up to the big one, and it's Obama making fun of Trump at a dinner in 2011
Yep.
and overturning Roe versus Wade. And I'm like, clutch.
Beast.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is you can tell these screeching shrews that this has been a bad decision for 50 years, because it's been a bad decision for 50 years. Not because it's about abortion. It's just that everything about the decision was bad. Legally,
Was bad.
Professionally, logically, it's all bad.
Mm-hmm. Even repeatedly, Ginsburg had said how bad it was. Like she's like, it's shit. Like when she would tour different, she'd have different discussions.
Right.
In,
and she was saying that something else needed to bolster the end result of Roe because it was so weak.
Yeah, it needed to be strengthened because it's fucking wrong.
Right.
Wrong. The two Utes. Well. But no, people just good freaking night, man.
I have no idea what those chuckle fucks were doing down at the Arizona state capitol. I have no idea what their plan was. Our current state legislature has nothing in front of it that changes anything. Again, we're back to we're not even sure as a state whether or not the pre-Roe law is still legitimate or not, because some other things have passed in its stead, and we don't know where we stand. Chances are we'll end up with a 20-week limitation, most likely, would be my guess. Which, again, it falls into line with what goes on in Europe and the rest of the civilized goddamn world. But it's these fucking retards that demand on-demand abortion, free of guilt, free of charge, up to and including the date of birth.
Yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm pro-life. In Clinton's era, safe, legal, and rare. I didn't start even thinking about abortion until Obama came out with, I don't want my daughters burdened with a child young. And I'm like, whoa, that's different from safe, legal, and rare. And now it's a form of birth control.
Right,
like,
you're on
nope.
TikTok. There's a blonde gal that was on TikTok that was basically laid it out very, very succinctly in about a minute-long TikTok video.
Did she have ice blue eyes?
Yes, and
Leslie, I know.
Really blonde hair.
Yeah, we follow each other.
Yeah, she laid it out very succinctly. That we gave you an inch and you took a goddamn mile and a half. Everybody was sympathetic to the. We may not like the end result, but we were sympathetic to. Oh, I'm 15 years old and I don't know if I should have a kid at this age. Okay, we don't like that answer, but if you're early enough, we don't like that you're going to have an abortion, but we understand that, and we'll just not bother you about that. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of where I'm at, even though I'm the result of something very much like that. But yeah, if you want to have an early limitation on it, or an early allowance for it, yes, safe, legal, and rare. Again, that was the compromise that we all agreed on, and then once we agree on a compromise, you got to take it that much further.
Yeah,
to the point where you have the governor of Virginia, sitting governor of Virginia, on a radio show saying that, oh no, we can birth the baby and then we'll put it to the side and make it comfortable, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do, meaning we're going to kill the kid.
No, we fucking won't.
Right.
Like even in the most extreme of the cases where it's the idiots who are quoting some Bible verse about the breath of life, that's a living, breathing human being with a soul and a soft spot and no kneecaps, and you're not going to fucking kill it. I don't know why the no kneecaps is important. I just happen to know that, and I'm really still hurt. My feelings are fucking hurt from not knowing about sex of a baby. That hurts me still to this day.
One of the funniest sight gags I've heard about, or that I've seen about the baby's soft spot, was Family Guy when they were talking about Britney Spears having a kid.
Oh, she burns an ashtray.
Yep, she pushes it in with her thumb and uses it as an ashtray. I was like, oh my god, that is the most offensive thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, good night.
That was back when they were spicy. They haven't been spicy for a very long time.
Yeah, that's true though. My brother used to have a thing about flat-headed kids. And he's like, don't fuck with him. He's a flat-headed kid. He doesn't care about nothing. And it's like, you learned one thing about children. Like, I have a very round head, thank you. My parents loved me. But no matter what the situation, after birth, I'll start shooting people. Like I don't have all that much to live for. Like, I will start my manifesto and end it with your death. Probably Gavin Newsom. And I'm not even particularly religious, so I can suicide by cop.
Speaking of King Dick Cheese, smarmy politician guy, Gavin Newsom.
Who would have thought the guy joining Truth Social is possibly running for president?
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah, that would be my question. Do you think he's got a chance to take the nomination in 2024? Because Lord knows it's not going to be fucking Joe Biden.
Probably. Gavin Newsom looks like somebody you could vote for as president.
Not me.
Not me either, per se. But, like, what? I could see him as a president on TV.
Yeah, a bad one. A one you're supposed to dislike.
But as a president.
Correct.
So
no
he
Jeff
has a
Daniels.
certain amount of presidential. What was Jeff Daniels president?
Oh no, it's the other guy that I get. Who was the president in Independence Day?
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. I always get Bill Pullman and Jeff Daniels.
Jeff
mistaken.
Daniels, really?
Yeah.
Not Pullman and Paxton?
No, I know those two.
Oh wait, I was thinking Jeff Bridges.
No, sometimes
No.
I confuse Jeff Bridges with Kurt
Russell?
Kurt Russell. Yeah.
No. Wait. Dumb and Dumber. That's
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels is the one I was thinking of from that one where he like network or not network, but he's on that he's on a panel and he starts shitting all over America.
Well, he
30
shits all
seconds.
over America, but then the next 5 minutes after that starts with "We sure used to be," and then he starts lamenting what we've lost.
Yeah, that's not us. That's the left doing that. Like, we're not the ones saying take tort law out of school. We didn't say take home ec out of school. We didn't say take religion out of school. That's not my group, my man. My side isn't the one saying there's too many white people in advanced classes. Let's cancel them.
Well, to be fair, they're not canceling it because there's too many white kids. They're canceling it because there's too many Asian kids.
No, they're canceling it because there's not enough black kids. Ooh, Alex Jones got fat. What is this from? Thought you were losing weight, my man. What happened? Apparently too many tips in the Alex Jones was right jar.
He lost the contract on Super Male Vitality.
It's his drug. How did he lose the... He just can't sell it in California. Calm down.
The supplier realized they were supplying Alex Jones. Is really what happens. We can't be seen to doing business with Alex Jones.
You know, he didn't take super male. He took super female vitality.
What?
Yeah, because he didn't need any help in the male department.
That's
He used to say that.
I know. That's the most Alex Jones thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Because I didn't need any help in the department. I take super female vitality.
God, love that man.
Yeah. Oh my God. I remember it was like 2017, 2018. It was back when I still had my first account and Blair and I were following each other. And he had her on and they had absolutely perfectly reasonable and an informative conversation. And he goes, at the very end, he goes, "Can I have you for one more segment?" And she goes, "Yeah, sure." And he says, "Okay. And when we get back, we'll talk about," he just goes fucking apeshit nuts about transhumanist demonology. The look on Blair's face when it cuts to commercial, which is not really a commercial, was just hilarious. And I'm like, oh, hold on a second. That's gobsmacked. All right, I just write that down. That's what gobsmacked looks like. Thank you, Blair. I needed that definition. Anna Caspian being a fucking retard. What else we got? Let's refresh the old Twitter account. That's I went through and anybody who was like really shitting on abortion on my TikTok, I deleted them. I did like 65 whores. No one who was following me back. No, you're all whores. That's what it is. Did you guys see the one with the blonde shouting that she was upset and then she had to do the dishes?
Yeah, so I saw that.
I'm like, is this a Poe? This might be a Poe. Was that Josh saying he can't come back?
Yeah.
Figures. Because my phone vibrated and I heard Sean's go off. Now, Libs of TikTok posted this chick crying, saying, whatever she's saying, I can't, because it's a volume thing, or it's muted. But says, according to this person's account, she lives in a deep blue state where not a single woman will be affected by Roe v. Wade being overturned. I'm like, yeah, but you can still have, like, my state could be free of child sex trafficking. I'm still pissed about the other states that have sex trafficking. And I'm not saying by any means mine doesn't. But, yeah, you can still be empathetic to other states, but don't cry about yourself. Speaking of crying about myself, Brittany Venti posted, if you eat pasta, you are fat.
Oh, good to know.
Correct. Although, has she been to Italy? I don't like that at all, Magic. If you're to pass out, you pass out to us, god damn it. It's Monday.
Yeah, exactly. We need that extra view for 17 minutes for you to piss yourself. Newsom is pretty by middle-aged politician standards like Trudeau. People will start rejecting pretty people in power. I don't know about that.
No, that'll never happen.
Yeah, I mean, we got Trump, and he's not exactly gorgeous.
If you ask him, he is.
Not only am I gorgeous, my daughter's gorgeous, and I would do her if we weren't related. Like,
So
thank you for that
Melania
caveat.
anyway.
Thank you for that caveat, sir. I appreciate that. Like, yeah.
Well, he did fuck her mom, so.
Yeah, like, she looks
And
just like her, so.
He
I
got
know.
out of that right on time, too, because she did not age well.
Mm-hmm. The SHAWN. Yeah, like everyone wants to call Trudeau a loser, and I'm like, say what you want, but Trudeau has no talent and got to be the president of a country or prime minister of a country with barely just name recognition alone. If that, say what you want about him, but a loser he is not.
No, but he is a poster child for no dynastic rule.
Yeah, well, they all have been.
We should have never had W.
Yeah. And thankfully, we missed out on the Clinton, the start of. There was I watched some
Watch
comedian
your
the other day.
mouth, because she's going to run in 2024.
I think it was Bill Burr actually who was talking about his favorite first lady is George Bush's wife.
H.W.
W. He goes. I don't even know her fucking name. Like, that's how good she was. She shut the fuck up, and I was like, "Come on, I know her name."
Do you?
It's not. No, Barbara was.
It's Laura, by the way.
Laura?
Yeah, I didn't. I spent time, and I'm like, Jenna and Sophia are the daughters. Like, come on. Couldn't think of her name for life. I'm like, yeah, all right, she got a point. Like, George's mom, Barbara. like I got no, yeah, I do not know her name. Good for her. But Michael ruined fucking school lunches.
I'm terrified she's going to run. Fucking terrified.
Trudeau is bad. He's bad. He's absolutely not what I want in a president, but he's not a loser. Like the guy won the prime ministership repeatedly in Canada, so he's got that going for him. Like, when you insult somebody,
God, I hate
most
this
likely than not, you're insulting them. What would hurt your feelings the most?
thing. Hey, do you chumps have an iPhone?
God, nope.
Garrett,
Yes. Why?
how the hell do you get out of something?
Swipe up.
Jesus Christ. I hate this thing.
They want to give me an iPhone for work, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is.
I don't like. I'm not learning a new platform. I'm sorry. Like,
Ugh, I hate the thing.
nope.
That'll be $40, Sean.
Yeah, check's in the mail.
Ah.
Oh, and it's all in the reflexes.
Yeah, all in the reflex. But any insult you lay out most likely is a reflective of what would hurt you most, which is why it's laughable when the left calls the right uneducated, because they almost are never correct in the topic they're spitting about. Almost never.
Correct.
It's because they are ignorant of the issue
Correct.
and they're scared to be called out for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it is now universally acceptable. Anything the left accuses you of, they are doing it.
Exactly. They are what they accuse you of being, and they are doing what they are accusing you of doing.
And if they're defending something, it's because they're a part of it. And if they're accusing you of something, they are 100% a part of it.
Yep.
Scott Baio married up. Good God.
Who's Scott Baio's wife?
Mrs. Scott Baio.
Obviously.
No. Her ad is Mrs. Scott Baio. It's Renee Baio, by the way. She's good looking, and she's his age. So she must have been pretty damn good looking at her own age. Or, younger.
Back when
Her
he was
own age.
Chachi.
Who would have thought Chachi? There's this great dudes posting their W's. It's a hawk, not eagle. But this guy is not hang gliding. It's the one where you sit down, and it soars up next to him and then takes a seat on the front frame, and he pets it. I'm like, that is insane. And he just sits there. So obviously this is some sort of handled bird. Actually, that might be a vulture. But yeah, just rooting around on the internet to find something to yell about. Juan Williams, Hillary Clinton can rescue Democrats in the midterms. God, no. Lily says, do it, LOL. Like DeSantis would be like, oh, can't run. This is Trump's time. We're gonna let him have this again. I'm gonna get out, gonna spend 2 years campaigning for him, and then I'm gonna get the nod from Trump.
Again, why can't they be president, vice president?
Because you have to pass on what you don't like to the vice president, and Trump doesn't like a lot.
That's fine. DeSantis does good most of the time.
Yeah, well, they picked on Mike Pence for not wanting to take lunches with single women.
So I'll tell you.
In the
real
era
reason,
of
Garrett,
Me Too.
What's up?
The reason that DeSantis probably won't run, especially if Trump runs, but probably won't run anyway, is because he is currently going for re-election as governor of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So he will do that and hold that down for another 4 years, and then run when Trump is done, and have a much better run of it for it. He can come in, and then he can say, is like, look, the last guy was a little bombastic. I may be bombastic too, but I'm not as mean. Vote for me.
Look at my approval rating. It's actually approved.
Right. Look what I did in Florida. And that's the other thing too, is he won by a cunt error when he got
600,000 votes in a 15 million vote state.
it was razor thin.
To a
So-
crackhead who is currently being prosecuted on 16 counts of money laundering or of money. What is it? Theft,
fraud.
money fraud of monies. Going back to 2016.
Yeah.
No,
It was
2018 or whatever. Tallahassee.
razor thin, and
Yeah.
he needs another big win on his own in Florida, which he'll probably get, and that's going to bolster him even more, especially as more and more people really like what he's doing.
Mhm.
And he's won over a hell of a lot of people in Florida.
Mm-hmm. And outside of Florida as well. Let's see. What is DeSantis approval rating? DeSantis wasn't a Navy SEAL. What the hell was? Oh. Okay, legal advisor for SEAL commander. Okay, I was gonna say.
I hate it when they don't date stuff. Oh, apparently Scott Bio's wife has a brain disease.
I just need approval rating. One of the most popular governors in America. 85% among Republicans as a governor, with 10% disapproval. Overall, 54% approval rating with a split legislature. Some fucking dumb bitch, like a blue checkmark bitch, said that it's not the executive branch's job to enforce the law. And I was like, what? That's like their only job. Like we got a group that writes the laws, we got a group that interprets the law, we got a group that enforces the law. Which one is which to you? By all means, please tell me so. Like you fucking crouton.
Are you standing by a generator, Garrick?
No.
Only when it's running.
No, Sean, I'm not. Why do you ask?
There's some background
Sounds like
noise. Sounds like a generator.
I remember when Kroger's only had a 1.3% profit margin and couldn't put things on sale, but now they're willing to pay $4,000 for out-of-state travel costs for employees seeking abortions.
Kroger or Dick's?
Kroger's is another one. So I'm not shopping at Kroger, not shopping at Dick's, not buying Pepsi products just because probably they're doing the same thing. Like I'm down to strictly meat and water.
Going on that carnivore diet, eh?
Yeah. Started my diet early with the Roe versus Wade. I'm like, if Moloch's going on a diet, I can go on a diet. But really, I gotta lose water weight in my legs because I gotta fucking fit in my suit for Josh's wedding. They're gonna pay Johnny Depp $301 million to return as Captain Jack Sparrow.
What?
Johnny Depp to reprise Captain Jack Pirate's role with $301 million deal.
Holy shit.
He literally said he would not go back to Disney for $300 million and a million alpaca. Which turns out an alpaca is $300, so $600 million. But somehow, $301 million is the deal breaker. Apparently, he realized he couldn't feed a million alpaca.
I hope he phones in every fucking performance.
No, I am so. There was a movie. Well, I talk about it often, so everyone knows Nothing But Trouble. But the way, bless me, the way Chevy Chase phoned in Nothing But Trouble, it hurt my soul. Either be 110% committed to the movie or don't make the goddamn movie. You're just dragging down everybody else's good performances. You dragged it down so much, it looked like Demi Moore had talent. I hate you.
I've never been a huge fan of Chevy Chase, but I will say that the two Fletch movies are very good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not a big Griswold Vacation guy,
Right.
but Christmas Vacation, hell of a movie.
That's because of John Hughes. You have to thank John Hughes for that. Certainly not Chevy Chase.
I love me some John Hughes. There's no denying that. But yeah, his rant at the end where he was making up cuss words. I'm like, dude, I could do a better job. I could do a better job improv. Like, you didn't take 2 seconds to think of 6 different insults to tie together. You shit, dick, ass, dick, mother. Oh, God. Oh, pass the Tylenol. Like, what the fuck? Like, that was weak. Have you seen the picture of the mom with her 2 kids holding a sign that says, "Don't force this on anyone"?
Yes.
And I'm like, whoa, those are cute kids, you bitch. Luke reposted it with, yo, that's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope their kids hold it against them.
Yeah, I would just don't use your kids for any sort of that kind of stuff. It's just it's so icky. Carrie Lake for Arizona governor says there's this little 30-second vignette from the Brett Baer interview, and it says, "Continually becoming a thug life meme is one of the coolest things about running for office."
Yeah.
Somebody responded to Count Dankula, "An unqualified dipshit can become a judge these days?" Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. We just watched it in real time about a fucking month ago.
Yeah. She checked the boxes.
Again, we're in agreement. We're just not on the same specific. We agree generally. We're just not talking about the same specifics.
Mm-hmm. Every branch of the U.S. military is struggling to meet its 2022 recruiting goals.
Gee,
9% of those Americans 17 to 24 eligible to serve in the military have any inclination to do so. Only 23% of Americans aged 17 to 24 are qualified to serve without a waiver to join. Yeah, we need a draft. I mean, we're not going to win whatever it is because they're all fucking retards, but good luck.
Right. No, I mean, if we actually had a defense situation, like an actual defense situation, like we were under attack, we'd fill the ranks plenty fast, volunteer-wise. That would not be a problem. But yeah, there's no incentive to go do it if we're playing world cops for fucking Democrats and globalists. The youth are wise to that nonsense. They don't need to go die for those causes.
Tank and Purpose stated the military is currently behind its recruiting goal this year by 23%. And Czech so said, really? And in Pride Month? Did you see the Columbus cops with their new golf cart of pride? Good Lord.
Did you watch the show last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked Josh or Sean if he did.
I
don't think Josh did. Yeah. Alex Jones and Ali Alexander on video urging people away from the Capitol. Ray Epps on video urging people to go into the Capitol. Interesting who J6 committee focused on and who they protect. Yeah, Kevin McCarthy put out or not Kevin McCarthy. Ken. What's his fucking name? Ken Kinzinger?
Oh, I don't know.
Cleared Ray Epps.
Yeah, like
Kinzinger?
he wasn't a fucking op. Like he wasn't a goddamn CIA member. Please.
It's like, no,
And
I
the
trust
thing
him.
The thing that gets me about January 6th is that everybody's conveniently forgotten about the Plan B. They wanted the riots. They wanted an insurrection. They wanted some public fuss. They got it. But their Plan B was goddamn pipe bombs. And everybody seemed to forget about it. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's following up on it. None of that.
I mean, Posobic's still a Fed, but at least he's right sometimes.
Yeah, he's a Fed we like right now.
Yeah, he's all right. He's a good Fed. More than 1 million voters switched to the GOP in waning in a warning for Dems. Now, is that 1 million Democrat voters switching to GOP, or just 1 million voters becoming GOP? Because I would like to embrace them and then tell them how much the Republican Party sucks.
Well, at this point, I think anybody just voting against the Democrats, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, you're basically your choices are firm dried up turds or a wet Taco Bell diarrhea mess. I'm gonna take the dried turds over the hot Taco Bell diarrhea mess.
Yeah. Like, the reason they want to get rid of free speech is because the Democrats, all right, the Republicans, their ideas are bad, but the Democrat ideas are worse.
Yep.
So they don't want you to hear the less worst idea, just their bad ideas.
Right. Well, and Tim Pool called it right. Republicans suck. They're better than the Democrats, but even if they win, they don't do anything.
Yeah, we haven't made any ground in the 2A, which literally says shall not be infringed.
Right. No, we get that out of the Supreme Court last week. That's the most we've won in 15 years, 20
Since
years?
the last time we won from the Supreme Court. Although the states are getting together. We have 25 constitutional carry states.
But I mean, federally we lose. Well, I shouldn't say we because I don't consider myself a Republican, but I'm anti-Democrat. So, yeah, the opposition to Democrats loses on a federal level almost all the time. Which really makes me wonder what kind of fucking shenanigans they're going to pull during the midterms here in November.
Yeah. Here's one. It's called The Simple Catholic. It says, secular person, I want to do X. Christian, you're free to do it. Secular person, but you think X is wrong. Christian, yes. Secular person, because you want to control me. Christian, no, you're free to do whatever you wish. Secular person, but you think X is wrong. Christian, yes, but only because I want what's best for you. Secular person, but I want to do X. Christian, you're free to do it. Secular, but I want you to say that X is good. Christian, I can't say that. Secular person, why are you such a hateful, intolerant bigot?
Pretty much.
Yeah. You know, we were under the understanding that what two people want to do in their bedroom as consenting adults, that was the line. Now you're trying to talk to our kids. It's going to go back the other way. Because despite what Stephen Colbert says, reality has a right-wing bias. Oh,
there's part of me that thinks that Stephen Colbert is actually a conservative, is actually a Republican.
At least he had to have somebody on his staff who was.
No. I think he is, because what I think he's doing is he's playing, much like he played that character on TV on the Colbert Report, he's now playing exactly the same role on the other end of the spectrum, except he's doing it on primetime TV. Or late night TV on a major network. Anyway, I should say. I think he's playing a character. And he's playing it to an absurd hilt, much like he did on the Colbert Report.
There's a new New Yorker out, and it's got two houses, like a duplex, and they're showing the difference between the right and the left. And one side's got Black Lives Matter, and the other one's got a blue lives flag. But one's painted red, one's painted tan, and they've each got an American flag. And I'm like, no. The Black Lives Matter side would not be posting an American flag. If you like your freedom, think a veteran. Those people would have an American flag up. Not the Black Lives Matter, love in every color kind of bullshit would have an American flag up. It would be a pride flag.
Well, and a proper right-wing person wouldn't have an American flag either. They'd have a Gadsden flag.
Yeah, no treading on me. Thank you very kindly. Gun rights, baby rights, and prayer rights all in 1 week. God bless the constitutional judges. Okay, so she doesn't understand what's what. Oh, speaking of Whoopi, goes off the rails. You better hope that they don't come for you, Clarence, and you better hope that nobody says you're back to being a quarter of a person.
It was 3/5.
Yeah, that's over half, Whoopi. Shapiro says she has 1/4 of a functioning brain. If you're upset about Roe versus Wade, just buy an electric vehicle. I don't think that pans out very well. Jack Posobiec posted the new press secretary with the new Shamroll.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
it.
My question is does that immigrant lesbian of color actually firmly hold those beliefs that there's nothing wrong with that, or is she also in her guts appalled at that monstrosity in the uniform?
Yeah, that's someone in your wheelhouse. You got to scissor that sister.
Right.
You want to get down with that?
That's why I'm Team Turf, because I don't understand how feminists can side with trans, because every trans issue is never about trans men. It's only about trans women.
Mm-hmm.
Who are men. Just saying.
Yeah. That's how it works. Rome is being aggressively positioned to crumble, and y'all be like, wow, the Kardashians are so skinny right now. Jessica Vaughn has been a very interesting follow. She's pretty and pretty out there.
Who's this?
Jessica Vaughn. Oh, she's gorgeous. She's very fond of crypto and libertarianism. Gorgeous woman. And she's in California, and she's just a beautiful model. And constantly taking pictures that a beautiful model would take with like Ayn Rand quotes. I'll send you
VAUGHN?
VAUGN.
No H. Oh, yeah, that pretties that Google search right the hell up.
When the kinetic war you polarized, insist upon creating in the nation that love materialized. Can I have dibs on being a shaman and Bitcoin ambassador? Then again, it looks like I already have my wartime task during peacetime. Like, I'm sorry, what?
You. Yeah, that's a smoke show.
Yeah. I think what she has to say, and it's like, wait, what? Justin, Michael Stenger, the Senate Sergeant of Arms, who was in charge of the Senate security on January 6th, has died.
Womp womp.
G7 moving closer to ditching vow to end fossil fuel financing. That's going to be an upset, Greta Thunberg.
I guess the G7 decided to not buy Russian gold. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All that's going to do is turn Russia into a gold-absorbing hole, but okay.
Five examples of why we need abortion, and it's five of the six, not including Roberts. And this is in Kenosha County. It's from the Kenosha County Eye.
Majority of Americans disapprove of SCOTUS Roe versus Wade reversal, poll shows. What were the questions asked?
Yeah. Like let's be specific. Like, are you for or against abortion? And then find out at what part. Are they for abortion at 9 months? Are they for abortion the morning after pill? Let's find out the real details.
Well, not only
because
that, I want to know, do they understand why it was overturned? It hasn't. The reasoning for it being overturned has almost nothing to do with the issue of abortion.
Mm-hmm. Like, do you understand the place of the Supreme Court?
California sending out inflation relief checks of up to $10.50. Here's how much you'll get. They're literally paying people to vote.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm proud to author H.R. 8196 to designate groups like Jane's Revenge and Ruth Senes as terrorist organizations. On board are Rep. Andy Harris, Mary Miller, Jeff Duncan, Clay Higgins, Paul Gosar, and Andy Biggs. Uh-oh.
Biggs is
That's
my
too
guy.
Well, so is Gozer.
Well, he's technically my in-laws guy, but yes.
Man.
Gosar, by the way, it's not Gozer.
Oh no, it's Gozer, the libertarian.
Ghosts are the libertarian. I like that. Should use that.
No one from this bitch is from Illinois. They're in a Tenacity on the fucking. Come on, man.
This makes no sense. Gold dips on weaker dollar, recession risks. You would think
How?
that gold would go up on a weak dollar and
Yeah.
a recession, not down. Excuse me.
The fuck was that?
A burp.
Sounded like it's like ice falling in a plastic cup. Been reading some Christian books about biblical justice. Biblical justice is accountability, not punishment. Justice is only justice when it's accurately and duly proportioned. This is believed to be a fundamental and intrinsic attribute of God. We are in image DEI. Die? Imago die and inspire? All right. Yeah, I was with you to the end there, James Lindsay.
Imago Dei.
Imago Dei?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's Latin for something.
Yeah, I would have been a psychologist if it wasn't for Latin. But I got my criminal justice degree. You know what's funny is in my Latin class, because you actually have to learn Latin. It was overly full. Like the class met in a different classroom because there were room for 61 students, and there was like 250 people in this class, and you had to take a test to see if you knew English well enough to take the Latin class. And he's like, raise your hands if you're this. It's like, Asian people, most of you'll make it into the class. And then he did it with the blacks and the whites and everybody else's. And they separated the whites into men and women and gave it a higher proportion of the white women than the white men. And he said, and that's 65. So even a couple of you aren't going to make it to the list. And it's probably not going to be this group over here. And it was the Asians. And I don't know, because I didn't pass. I really wanted to go to that first day of class, though, to see how right he was. But he was tenured. This was 25 years ago. So who knows what happened with that.
Oof. Prince Charles accepted a suitcase with 1 million euros from Qatari sheik, Sunday Times reports. Chuck, no.
What? This is the first Pink post I've ever seen from Pink. And it says, have a great lunch. I'm about to play with my dog, write some songs, and generally have a great day. I'll probably also fight the patriarchy. Let's go be awesome.
Has
Thanks,
put
Pink.
out an album or song in the last decade?
Not that I'm aware of. All I remember is her crying about being compared to Britney Spears while being a gigantic whore.
Britney Spears is way better looking.
Yeah. Kind of being compared to Britney Spears. Like, how? You haven't had a song yet that wasn't backed by 6 black dudes. Like, where's the comparison? Like, you and Fergie are not in the same league as Britney is at this point. It's Britney, Christina, and Jessica, and Jessica's not in the same league as Christina and Britney.
Correct. And Jessica hasn't done anything in 2 decades.
Yeah, well, Christina just ran around with a fucking foot-long rubber dick.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, that's where they split themselves. Like, Christina went super hoary. But that's just on stage because Britney was the real whore behind the scenes. Like she married Kevin and got dehydrated. They were having so much sex.
No, Bam Margera is missing from rehab again.
Again?
Again.
Sam Raimi confirms that John Krasinski's Doctor Strange cameo was nothing but fan service. Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. He was. How is that?
Richards. But he did a cameo in Doctor Strange, so it's poorly written. But he played Reed Richards.
But how is that playing fan service?
They didn't need Reed Richards, I guess?
Well, they didn't need John Krasinski, but fans wanted to see him in the Marvel Universe.
Oh. I'm not against it.
Yeah, it was fine. You got smoked, so.
Well, they did everything they could to get freaking Zachary Levi into the DC world. But he was in Thor too.
Yeah, and Patrick Stewart ate shit in that movie. That was pretty cool.
I'm confused how Professor X is still Professor X. I thought he came back in the third one as somebody else. Like a husk of a body.
Probably.
No, he did. He got disintegrated by Jean Grey, and his consciousness entered somebody else's body, like it was like a shell of a person, and that Moira was doing something with. What is in your background that's so loud? Are you sitting next to a fan?
Yeah, it's probably the AC is what you're hearing.
Ah, okay.
You have a window unit or something? That thing is a rattle trap.
Yeah, it's I'm at a cheap hotel in West Texas, so.
Down in a cheap hotel in West Texas. I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
Anybody buying this monkeypox surge thing as being anywhere near real?
No,
because
we already have vaccines for it. I don't trust it. Whatever happened with those escaped monkeys from New York or Pennsylvania? That straight up killed that bitch. I'm gonna go investigate this crash scene. Dead. Down in the West Texas town of Ambassador. Okay, that's in my head now. Thanks, Garrick.
Are you all the way in El Paso, or you're just some random podunk out there in the plains?
I'm not far from El Paso.
I fell in love with a Mexican girl. All right, let's skedaddle out of here and see so we can get up to in the off hours, and
we can do that.
Anybody's joining us. You guys can hear all about it. I watched it yesterday.
Which one?
The new one.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember the old one, which I might have to watch next.
Stay out here. No.
Did you guys know there's a Chihuahua, Texas?
Yeah.
There's a whole Chihuahua, Mexico, too.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
A state where they make Chihuahua cheese.
Is it a state or a province in Mexico?
Whatever the fuck
Mexican state, I believe they're called.
I think they're states.
Yeah, I think they're states.
Might be a territory. I don't fucking know.
Who knows?
Makes Chihuahua cheese and Chihuahuas. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Everybody.